Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Piofiore. And we are just continuing where we left off. At the end of chapter 5, I think? Somewhere in chapter 5, I think? Anyway, I don't remember. But we're going to a meeting. A meeting. And hopefully Luca's not gonna die. Because, like, the fuck game. I don't know why this game has a fucking hard-on for killing this kid. Anyway. The three bosses gathered in the church at late at night, along with Nicola and Orlok. I can't read today, so sorry. Is the investigation progressing? There's not much time before the deadline. Not to mention the trial in 3 days. I suppose we can wait outside the the area to witness Redford's brilliant victory. Do you honestly think it'll go well? We'll do what we can. I have excellent men who've been working with no sleep. Only 3 fucking days? We have like 3 chapters. It's gonna be a chapter a day, or like, he's going to jail. I don't know. Though Gil responded brightly, his expression turned serious after a moment. I do also feel like we're at a standstill. I want to organize all the information. There may be new things we can see. They all seemed to be on the same page and gave a nod. First off, $10 counterfeits are circulating mainly around Berlone. The true culprit somehow caused Gil to get arrested. These were the facts we already knew. Did we manage to unearth why they decided to pin this on Gilbert? Yeah, the Visconti often does business with America. Within the Berlone Mafia, we're the ones most in contact with the dollar. In order to have the counterfeits circulated effectively, you need a big organization like the Visconti to manage distribution. Once they crush the Visconti and steal their clientele, they can move the money again once things die down. That's the theory. I see. The bills are crafted so intricately that it's hard to tell that they're counterfeit. Even after the truth comes to light, there are plenty of people who would be fooled. Indeed. The Lao Shu rarely do business in dollars, but it happens on occasion. However, prior to Redford's arrest, I'd never heard of any indication of counterfeits being traded in the region. Same goes for the Falzone, and that means they've managed to deceive us all. If that's the case, how did the military police even discover the counterfeit money? It does seem odd that they'd be the first to realize its true value before we did. Before I got arrested, they arrested a guy that the Visconti made a deal with. He had a ton of these bills in his possession. And that's when its existence was revealed. But why exactly would they have doubted its genuineness? And they can't have noticed it at first glance. I believe you're aware that there are many people in the general public who can lie like you and I can. Possessing counterfeit money alone is shady. Getting arrested at that time, it's likely they were feeling nervous about it. Or maybe they behaved that way on purpose. Bam! We smart! We're fucking smarter than the Mafia, motherfucker. Sorry, sometimes I like the Boston accent. It's fun. It's terrifying. The man was a big-time gambler, but he had ties with the Berlone casino. I see. So it was possible that the deal itself was carried out as bait to trap Gilbert. And about her. Gil glanced at me, then spoke for everyone to hear. Dante told me that the Key Maiden's life is often in danger. If the enemy's after Berlone as a whole, in order to stop the Falzone from moving, they'd want to keep the Key Maiden hostage. But no one's after me. Wait. But no one's after me! Okay, well, like, Yang came after me, and then Orlok came to try to, and then okay, like, everyone in this room is kind of after me in some way. I mean, Gil's kind of after me, but that's a different story. Anyway. At least, not since I've been with the Visconti has anything happened to me. Yeah, no one's been moving to catch you. I've been observing as well, and there have been no suspicious activity. And there has been no suspicious activity. Wow, okay. Seems the true culprit may not have learned the Key Maiden's value. If the Falzone isn't involved in their goals, there'd be no need to investigate us. Perhaps it was needless anxiety on my part. It feels like this incident was thought out and planned very carefully. Before the culprit decided on a target, they would have investigated all three families. They targeted the Visconti on the basis that they used the dollar the most. So was the true culprit not able to uncover the history of the Falzone?
But we should still be careful. That being said, I'm gonna continue protecting her at the Visconti's.
Gil looked at me, speaking with conviction, then changed to another topic.
Oh, right. Yang was looking into the guy who created the counterfeit plates, right? Did you find anything new?
I believe I mentioned that the whatever was providing them with financial support. Yes. Yang tapped his pipe as if refreshing his memory, and his deep golden eyes quietly glimmered. The original was already sent to Europe, and the production site isn't in China.
That means that hitting the whatever would be pointless.
Yes, pointless indeed. Even if the whatever gives up, so long as they have the original, another sponsor can be found. Especially in America. The mafia in Chicago would salivate all over it. It'd be harder to... It's like so much... You have a bunch of tents. I have two different ones and they look... You could compare them. Here it's like... Sure, this is an American $10 bill. Looks legit. Is Abraham Lincoln always a woman? He's on the 5, but like whatever. You're like... Huh? Well, it's like, what were they gonna change? Were they gonna... Was it the dollar? Which one were they gonna change and put Harriet Tubman on it? They were talking about it. Like, could you fucking imagine how goddamn fucking, like... First of all, again, when they change it and it's like, you get when they started putting colors on the money, not as fancy as like Canada money and like, you know, fancy, colorful money everywhere else in the world, you know? When they started putting a little bit of color on the money, you're like, the fuck is this? This is a fake 20! It doesn't look real. And now, when you have, like, those ones, if you get, like, if you had a super old one from before, you'd be like, the hell, this shit looks fake. So, could you imagine if they switched and were like, we're gonna put Harriet Tubman on the 20s? Like, whatever. You'd be like, the fuck? I don't... You have, like, 3 different versions. Like, the hell? Because they don't pull all the old ones out of circulation. They like, slowly get pulled out. But, like, hello? You can still get quarters that don't have fucking United States on them. But, like, when those started coming out, the freaking state quarters, you're like, is this shit fake? And then they have even other ones. There's like, I swear to God, there's ones that have colored. They're colored. And you're like, is this fake? Is it a fake quarter? Who's minting quarters? I feel like, look, I said if you're going to counterfeit money, you do like the 1s and the 5s because ain't nobody looking at that shit. Like, but quarters also, that would just take more work than... I feel like printing paper money, but like, seriously? Like, it's colorful. Oh, it's quarter. Like, whatever. Like, look, as long as it goes in a vending machine, nobody gives a shit. I'm just saying. Why do you think sometimes you get Canadian money and you're like, does this work in the vending machine? Yeah, vending machine still thinks it's whatever. Okay, cool. Like, whatever. Anyway. Besides, hitting the whatever is unrealistic. Their scale far exceeds the mafia in this town.
What is it? Something bothering you?
I timidly spoke up. I apologize if I say something strange. I was just wondering why the true culprit would choose the whatever. Was it because the person who made the plate was Chinese? If that were the case...
You're saying it's odd that they'd ask the Lao Shu's parent organization for financial support, given their ties to the Lao Shu?
Yes, there's no way they wouldn't have known of their relationship, right?
Right. The person behind this whole scheme wouldn't be so reckless
unless they were purposely. That's a way to take you down, and then there's a way to take down the Lao Shu too, because they're tied to the whatever, right? And then... But then you're like, okay, well, the foul zone. Yeah, but the foul zone already, until this route, every other route has focused on the church and Rosberg being like, we need to take back control of Malone and, like, cut ties with the foul zone. They suck. They're terrible. Like, in this one, it seemed like he was like, yeah, I changed my mind on doing that. But that was the original intent, is like, Orlok was here to basically be like, nope, you don't get to keep her, Dante, because the church is mad at you. So... If we're going my theory, hello, casino, right? And that's starting to pan out, okay? But if Diude Torre had something to do with it, He obviously somehow is tied to the church because he knows Emilio. Emilio knows who he is. So there's some kind of tie there. So it's possible that he would have somehow gotten insider information or maybe found out that the church was like, we're taking the fucking shit back from, like, the Falzones. Fuck that crap, right? And then he was like, so they're going to get taken down by the church and I just got to take out these other motherfuckers. So if you work with the whatevers, you know, to make counterfeit money and kind of try to frame the Visconti, at some point it's going to tie back to the whatever, the Lao Shu parent. You'd be taking down the Visconti because they'd be like, Gil's the one but he got the funding from the Chinese mafia back in China, right? And then wait a minute, but the Lao Shu's tied to them too, and it takes them out. And then the church is already taking down the Falzone, and then you're like, ha! 3 birds, 2 stones, technically. Because it's like, you know, I'm just saying, it's like wiping out everybody. Anyway. The person behind the scheme wouldn't be so reckless. Yeah, well, see? Maybe the culprit wasn't anticipating that the whatever would cut off the Lao Shu. And perhaps what they really wanted was the partnership with the Lao Shu through the whatever. That would make sense. They'd be in cooperation with an organization at odds with the rest of Berlone. If the situation were a little different, the Lao Shu could have easily been our enemies. Nicola's hypothesis seemed to make sense.
Yang, when do you make all this?
I say, there was a large chance we'd have declined your proposal to cooperate. Even if the Lao Shu were a neutral entity, uninvolved in the contentious rivalry of the Berlone Mafia. If it were clear that the whatever were financially supporting the production of counterfeit money, what would we do?
Well, obviously, the Lao Shu would take the whatever's money and chop off the enemy's head at the same time. At least that's what I think.
If I were in their position, I'd do the same. The true culprit may have secretly hoped we'd battle and destroy one another. Or that too. That seems a little more like, well, let's just make them all mad, and then they'll kill each other. That's like the easy way out. This seemed a little more detailed.
Anyway, you see, they thought that far ahead and approached the whatever to make a deal.
And then their biggest miscalculation was in predicting Yang's next move, and they couldn't anticipate his partnership with us, see? He has a point there. Oh no, we're in chapter 6, aren't we? Oh shit, yeah we are. Oh fuck, we finished chapter... I thought we were still in chapter 5 because I had the guide pulled up to chapter 6, but then I was like, no, we still have one choice in chapter 6. We're in the middle of chapter 6 because I saw the I want to go out, and I was like, wait! Like, I was reading and I glanced down and saw it, and I was like, wait a minute. We made that choice. This is what happens sometimes. Like, I'm reading things and, like, my brain is, like, calculating other shit. And I'm like, wait a minute. 3 days ago when this happened. Meanwhile, me, every single day I'm cooking. Oh, I need to put more sesame oil on my frickin' grocery list. I really need to do that for the next time I get groceries. Got groceries today. Go to cook. What the fuck? I didn't get sesame. God damn it. And it's on sale, too. Anyway. It's on my list now, so just in case. Don't worry about it. I'll have it next time. Anyway. Nevertheless, unless we find the original plate or destroy the manufacturing facility, this situation will never end. We could put an end to this if that were possible, but unfortunately we don't know where the counterfeits are being produced.
Ahem! Yes, we do! Dun 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 dun! I
looked over at Gil and he nodded slightly, putting his hand in his pocket.
Take a look at this. We found this in an old factory in the outskirts of Strano. We're looking into it, but I'm pretty confident this is the place.
I can't see the forest for the trees, huh? Who would have thought it'd be right here in town? I feel like the air just changed. Within the icy cold of the church, it felt like a fire had just been lit.
The casino invited a member of the currency union to participate in an obvious gambling charade. And you seem to know of the existence of the counterfeit money.
Right. I remember he even jokingly asked for lira instead of dollars. And then, the staff of the casino, even the Direttore, are all enemies, it seems. Direttore, showing his true colors. He's shady as fuck, too. I mean, come on. We knew he was a little shady. Still, I'm sorry, Nicola, you're still the shadiest motherfucker around, but...
I don't know how much they know, or if they were even aware, but someone at the casino is definitely the enemy.
Direttore.
And if the currency union's involved, the Italian government and other bureaucrats may be behind everything. And that's a big problem. That's a huge fucking problem.
Something seemed to make sense to Yang. His eyes narrowed and he puffed out some smoke. If the counterfeits are widely distributed, regardless of its previous stability, the dollar would become less valuable. If that happens, the currency in each European country would rise in value. Our country would benefit from the counterfeits circulating. My brows furrowed with mixed feelings, and Dante spoke.
Well, the reasoning is sound. The reality is drawing a picture that's slightly different. What do you mean, Dante? I looked into the existence of the currency union once again. But the information returned wasn't any different. The currency union hasn't functioned since the Great War.
Although they haven't officially disbanded, they don't have any type of presence. Then, is someone quietly moving the currency union?
I think so. Our enemy isn't the country itself, though there's a chance that multiple countries are involved. This is bigger than us. We need to call James Bond. What the fuck? No more, no less, huh?
Dante nodded and looked at Gil. I mean, the plot in this route is totally different than the plot in every other one, but it's like fucking amazing. I appreciate it. Because like every other one is like the church is after us and they don't want Dante to have us. And like, it's kind of like, you know what I mean? But then like kind of in Orlok's, it's like, he's like, I don't think I should hand you over to the Lao Shu. But in every other one, he wants to hand us over to the Lao Shu because he's just doing his job, right? And in this one, it's like, Rosberg's decided to change his mind. Everything is fine. And now there's this whole fucking like forgeries and shit going on. I love it though. Like, I love the fact that the plot changed because they were like, well, you kept me on my toes, game, because I kind of didn't see this coming. I've seen it coming for the past few chapters because we've been talking about it. But when starting his route, I didn't see it coming that they were going to, like, jump ship and totally change the plot line. Like, so all that shit that was kind of happening and was consistent in all the other routes. Now, fuck that shit. It's gone. We're doing something different. All right. Cool. And it's intriguing. But it's totally tying it into Dia de Torde's route. Again, it does make sense that he's the last one because of that. Because they totally jump shipped and they were like, so we're going to abandon the other premise that, like, you know, Church wants to get rid of the Falzone and the Mafia, and it's going to hand over the Key Maiden to Yang, and then pull a double cross and do all that shit. Like, forget that. So what we're going to do is to tie it into Dia de Torde's route that's secret. Shh, we don't know about it. We're going to do this whole counterfeiting fucking thing, and then he's going to kind of be behind it, and then we'll go into his route. It's like two different games in one. And I kind of want to, I feel like they were like, we have this idea and we have this idea. And people were like, but I like both. Okay, so what about if the first 4 routes we do this idea, and then the last one we do this one, and then we pie into this secret character. And I love it. I do. But it is a little like, we just totally changed the plot, but like, cool. I'm not complaining. It's just interesting. Anyway. Earlier, you claimed you were targeted due to your use of the dollar in dealing with other organizations. But I find it odd that specific information regarding your deals has been leaked. Huh? The pointy question was something I hadn't thought of at all. Whether or not your partners are American, it's just as likely that you could deal in lira or pounds. As a boss of the Falzone, I myself couldn't know the list of people with whom the Visconti are doing business. However, the culprit's clearly moving with some form of definitive proof that the Visconti trades in dollars, aside from Gilbert being American. Okay, Italian but born in America. Technically that makes you American, I'm just saying. I guess in the 20s there wasn't like, you know, you wasn't like, whoa, 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 you are an American citizen doing, I mean, also you're in the Mafia, so it doesn't really fucking matter, but I'm just saying, technically you were born in America, doesn't mean you're not Italian, but it does make you American, so you are technically still American. Just like Yang is still Chinese. He's a Chinese citizen, so I'm just like... And that makes it simple. Someone within the Visconti is leaking information. It better not be Oliver! That's impossible. Yang seemed to be enjoying this, but Gil cut him off without hesitation. It better not be... Oliver's the only one that we've seen, and it better not be Oliver. I'll be so fucking upset. Clearly.
Yang shrugged his shoulders and affirmed, Gil blinking in confusion. Oh. Yang shrugged his shoulders and affirmed. Gil blinked in confusion. You sure are backing off easily? Listen until the end. I'm not saying that I'm questioning those close to you. Let's imagine someone in the Visconti wanted to be at the top and decided to get rid of Redford. In choosing this way of going about it, and not only would Redford go under, but so would the entire Visconti. It'd be pointless. That's true. Yang's eyes narrowed, and he continued quietly. Gil's face is like, one of my men wants me out of the picture, but I'm so nice. It's not like Yang, where you're like, Lee's trying to kill you. Understandable. You're kind of you're trash. I love you. I love you, sweetie. I do. But you know it. Look, he knows. Look at that look on his face. He's like, I know. Everybody wants me dead because I'm such a douche canoe. Like, I don't want you dead. I love you. But, you know, and it would be shocking if somebody wanted Dante dead, but he'd be like, well, I mean, like, I'm in the mafia, so I guess I have some enemies. I mean, Nicola. I mean, okay, Dante, technically your right-hand man, doesn't want you dead, but is really trying to undermine you every which way. But, like, Gil just has that, like, what? I feel like if, like, Dante was hurt and angry and upset when, like, Nicola backstabbed him, he was like, he had to have a reason. Gilbert, I don't think could handle it if fucking Oliver backstabbed him. He'd be like, Oliver, we were bros. I don't understand. Like, I just seriously think he'd just weep. We'd just have to be like, we have to go console him, and it's okay. It's okay, sweetie. It's all right. You can just cry all you need to. He's actually squishier on the inside than Dante. But see, Dante's our marshmallow because, you know, our marshmallows are the crunchy on the outside and the squishy on the inside. Don't ask me how that became a thing, but it is. But, like, he's just a big teddy bear. Like, he's just squishy. So you knew. You were like, you're just a squishy one. You're always going to be soup. You're a softy. You're a big softy. So, like, yes, if someone hurt him, he would just, like, absolutely break the fuck down. He'd probably kill them and then break down. But I'm just saying, like, you know. Anyway. In this town, there must be someone involved in deals with more than adequate information. Someone involved in deals with more than adequate, okay. Hearing that, Gil's eyes grew wide. I was thinking it too. You always have your deals at the casino. How do you know he's not eavesdropping? And then here he is. The direttore. Hi, sweetie. Oh my god, you might actually be shadier than Nicola. I'm not sure I love you. Oh. The direttore personally escorted every single person into that room. And the other day when we were, like, charged into our first meeting, the direttore appeared right away. Does that mean the direttore is always near the room during the meeting? Eavesdropping? It's likely that he's listened to everything. I'm just so excited because I love him so much, and I'm so just glad that we're pulling him out. I'm so excited for his route, which I'm not going to be able to do till after Christmas. It's like fucking February at this point, isn't it? I don't even know. But it's before Christmas that I'm recording this route. So I will have to wait. I'll be lucky if hopefully I can finish all of this, including the bad endings and everything before Christmas. Anyway. And the Burlow Mafia's had a long-standing relationship with the casino, and that's why we never looked into them further. And those who've been assigned as direttore have always looked the other way. But if he took that position for a reason in order to see what we were doing... Dante spoke with an expression more severe than usual. A government official involved in this scheme would need a commander in Berlin. I agree. And they're producing counterfeits in this town after all. Then, are you saying the commander is the direttore? It may be rather early to be sure, but considering the situation, it's a fitting role. It would be easy to distribute counterfeit bills through winning payouts. I told you the casino is the best place to launder money. Okay, I swear to God, I do not launder money. I have to take anti-money laundering frickin' like... Well, they're distributing counterfeits, but it's like, come on. You give me your $10 and I'll give you 10 American fake dollar. Like, I'm just saying. It's not really laundering money, but it's the best place for... I just got a seizure on my back. Fuck. It's the best place for this, all I'm saying. Anyway. Plus, I mean, we just knew he had to be tied in somehow. He showed up so much more in this route in the beginning. Silence fell over the church. Everyone seemed to be convinced of the answer in their minds. Eventually, Orlok looked around and spoke up. And then, what will you do from here? If there's anything to be done, I will cooperate. Right. I have an idea. Gil had this mischievous smile of a trickster. Oh my god, Norton! Shut up! I get it! It's like, Norton's doing stuff in the background! Norton's doing stuff! Go away with your pop-ups! God, it's annoying. Sorry. After the meeting, we returned to the Visconti Manor, and I immediately went to see Luca. Luca? I waited for an answer, but I didn't get one. I silently walked toward the bed. I get it! Fuck off! It's so annoying. It's like, we're performing tasks in the background. Thank you. I don't need you to fucking tell me. My god. Just do your job and leave me alone. I waited for an answer, but I didn't get one. I silently walked. Okay, I read that. It's just, I see them out of the corner of my eye, and they just annoy me. Luca seemed to be in pain as he breathed, but it looked like he'd finally fallen asleep. It's happened like 7 times in the last 5 minutes. Luca had to be the one to fight the sickness. There was nothing I could do for him, but I wanted to help ease his pain, even a little. I wiped the beads of sweat from his forehead with the damp towel. Luca seemed to have calmed down a little. I figured I could take care of what I needed to, so I quietly left the room. Is there someone in the lounge? At this late hour? I saw a light through the gap in the door and softly pushed it open. Gil was inside. I was like, if it's Oliver, I'm worried. Okay, right, no, we figured out nobody in the Visconti is a traitor. Okay, it was the directory listening. I'm sorry, I'm still have the inner panic of like, don't make him mad, don't do it. Just like, don't kill Leo. It's now a stress point. So don't kill Leo ever. Stress point until the game is over. Like, slightly stressed because you might kill Luca again, but I'm prepared for that. And then like, oh my god, don't make Oliver a backstabby. Like, don't make Oliver like Nicola. Wait, that's too cliche because you already made Nicola backstabby, so you can't do that. Anyway, he had poured himself an amber drink and was slowly swirling it around. I remember seeing Gil drinking alone like this in the past. Back then, I remember he took me out on a stroll because I couldn't fall asleep. But tonight, surprisingly, the air that surrounded Gil seemed to be heavier than usual. Despite seeing progress in our investigation, I had a feeling I knew why. Gil, are you worried about Luca? He's like, what? No, I'm pissed about Direttore. I'm just kidding. And money sent to his home. Yeah, I wish I caught on earlier. I mean, we saw Luca so many times. I feel the same way. Gil's eye looked down and he sighed sadly. I always feel bad when a kid dies. We don't know for sure that'll happen. I feel like the game is like, thanks a lot, game. You basically just told me he's gonna die. Or, contrary, the game's like, haha, and then you're gonna think he's gonna die because you played Orlok Drop, but now he's not gonna. Luca's doing a good job. He's fighting, even now. Yeah, you're right. He reminds me of me in my childhood. Maybe even smarter than I was. He did a good job. Thanks to him, we have a lead. So for Luca's sake, we're gonna resolve this situation. We're gonna win the trial. Yes, I'm sure Luca will be happy to hear it. I'd like a sip as well. Do you mind? I slowly approached him and sat down beside him. Yeah, sure. Gil's eye grew wide in surprise, but he handed the glass over to me. I accepted with both hands and took a sip. As I returned the glass to him, I spoke slowly. I often feel regrets. I always tell myself, if only I could have done more. I visit Strano often and meet children who have no place to go. I always try my best to do something about it, but there were many times I was too late. Each time I regret it, and I tell myself that I'm going to do better next time, but... Right. I've experienced that feeling many times. I'm sure you've witnessed many moments when people lost their lives. Of course, you're a mafia boss, but still... You're not used to people's deaths because you don't take life lightly. Meanwhile, he really tried to kill us in Orlok's round. You don't take life lightly, but you were really ready to kill us that time, and it was like, the fuck? So I'm just saying. See, I still feel like that was totally out of character for him, but... You suffered, just like you are now. As I slowly voiced what was on my mind, I felt like I found my own answer. I couldn't just leave Gil behind, drinking alone like this. I didn't want to see pain in his eye. You see, I've been thinking for a while now.
What?
I think I have feelings for you. Oh my god, girl came forward on her own first. It's so cute. She got balls. As I looked into Gil's eye, I saw it widen. I'm sorry. Look, game. You saved me. You brought me here. Walking through Creta with you and visiting different places. It was really fun, and it made me very happy to see how much you care for the people of Berlone and the town itself. I feel like the next choice is going to come up because of this conversation, and it's funny. I love this town, too. I thought that you were such a wonderful person. I realized I respected you. But it's different now. Of course, I do still think that of you. Before I knew it, I had fallen for you as a person.
As a man.
She didn't say that, but I awkwardly finished expressing how I felt, and Gil gave such a warm and kind smile.
You finally noticed.
Huh?
I knew. And that you were becoming more aware of me.
He was like, I knew. That's why you were acting weird today. I didn't realize it was so obvious. As I froze in place, Gil looked at me lovingly. Oh. You knew all this time? So funny. I mean, he basically just said that, so. So you saw through it all?
You reacted so adorably. And you didn't seem to know why, so I thought I'd wait until you realized your feelings. Besides, I already become aware of you much sooner than that.
What?
He looks all stuck to the side also. I was like, when I first took you in, I just thought of you as my responsibility. And then you became more than just a responsibility. Came to a point I wanted to protect you of my own volition.
Gil shrugged a little, looking somewhat shy as he squinted his eyes.
I'm glad you realized it, though. I was getting tired of waiting.
I'm sorry for making you wait. I felt my face burning and apologized as Gil laughed. Oh my god, are we getting boned now? I mean, look, we had sex with Dante pretty early on. We had to wait for Nicola to, like, the after scene. I'm just saying. And Orlok, I don't think we ever had that moment. Did we ever? I don't think we did. Well, and like it was either after the good ending story or whatever. It was like the priest was like, why don't you go to like crawl in bed with her? And I don't think it ever specifically happened. And technically with Yang had happened pretty early on too. Well, there was a lot of the almost questionable moments, but it wasn't like, like in some games, it's like, oh my god, right before the happy ending, and then it's like, or the after scene, and you're like, hello? You know what I mean? It's like the afterthought. It's like, and then you have your kiss, and then you made love, and then that was it. Then the game's over, and you're like, but I like it better when like with Dante, shit happened, and then the game kept going. I like that. Anyway. I felt my face burning and apologized as Gil laughed, especially because we don't usually get laid in these games. Like, it's usually like a kiss, and then that's it. At the end, you don't get the payout. You have to imagine that it happened at some point. I don't want to read it, and this game does it well. That's all I'm saying. I don't have to read embarrassing things, but I felt my face burning and apologized to Gil. I've read that already.
It's fine. I wanted you to realize on your own.
CG? Gil reached out for my cheeks. CG? Look, kissy CG. So early in the game. I mean, it's chapter 6 and there's only 2 more chapters, but I'm just saying. I couldn't look away as he drew closer. His iris was a deep pomegranate color. Not his irises. He's only got one. Just before our lips touched, I spoke once again. I really like you, Gil.
Yeah, me too. I really like you, Space.
I saw his smile deepen as he accepted my feelings. I could feel his warmth through his lips. Oh! His kiss was so gentle that I could tell how much he cared for me. Okay, I didn't think Gil was gonna, climb up there and be one of my favorites. Thought he was just gonna be like, no, you're cute and all, and you'll come for the ride, but
I'm melting like butter. Oh my god, I can't handle it.
I felt as if I were touching the clouds. It was ticklish and dreamlike. My heart was so full of love, and just when I felt I wanted a little more, his lips slowly parted from mine and our eyes met again. Gil whispered in a low voice.
I don't plan on rushing you since you just realized your feelings, but
I'm serious about you, and I want you to take us seriously, too. He's like, I'm not rushing you, but...
It's fine, let's go. Just kidding.
Once this is all over, then... Can I be closer to you?
Oh, huh?
My feelings for you can't be communicated just through a kiss.
Through just a kiss, sorry. She's like, okay.
Show me.
I understood what Gil meant and nodded lightly. When everything was settled, the promise I made with Gil would guide us into the future. But for now, the trial loomed over us as it drew near. But see, that's the thing! Take him now while you can before he gets taken away forever. She's a good girl, though. She'd be like, until I know that we're... Like, if you get taken away forever, then I gotta marry Dante, and he's just... I want to be pure for him, I'm just saying. Anyway. After submitting documents to the court, I'm thinking... I'm gonna guess Oliver? I'm gonna read it normal until we figure it out. So, after submitting the documents to the court, I stepped outside a bar in front of the police station. Because it could be Roberto, too. Nicola noticed me, downing the rest of his espresso at once before coming outside. Right on time. It is Oliver. Same to you. Gilbert's trial was tomorrow, and Nicola and I arranged to meet here in order to share the situation with the Falzone. We walked together down the street. And then let's get straight to the point since we're both busy. Oh my god, are you two in love? Oh my god. The two right-hand men are in love with each other. Look, I'm just gonna gay ship everyone in this game. Except for, like, Dante and Nicola, because they're, like, cousins, so that's kind of great. But you're like, look. Look, I will be in the middle of that man sandwich, but, like, boys, keep your hands to yourselves. Oh, unless it's on me, because you're related. That's weird. One night with Dante, one night with Nicola, one night with Dante. There's too many men in the man harem, okay? There's just too much going on. I'm just very confused. Anyway, it would benefit us both. We won't be attending the hearing tomorrow. We'll leave the rest up to you. Naturally, any unnecessary commotion would cause our enemies to become suspicious. I made a copy of the documents. I can't give them to you, but you can review them here. Wow, I'm impressed you've gathered all this information. A trial should be no problem. I'll also make a good report to Dante. I'd never want you as my enemy. If you were part of the Visconti, my job would be much easier. Whenever the Falzone contacted the Visconti, Nicola usually acted as the intermediary. Being the liaison between other families was a very important and delicate role. Here's the funniest part about that. If my life would be so much easier if you worked for the Visconti, except for that time where you went and worked for the Visconti because you backstabbed Dante, you know, to protect him, and you dragged the girl, and then you came here, and then I was like, traitor! Goddamn dirty rat! And I was like, I hated you. I'm just saying. Oliver, be careful what you wish for. Because you technically already got Nicola working for the Visconti in one of the other routes, and you were pissed about it. Girl. Oliver. It normally was forbidden for any members of opposing families to meet one-on-one. But they had a tacit understanding that went unspoken for it to be allowed under certain circumstances. Best of luck to you. Buona notte. Buona notte? Buona notte? Oliver? Whatever. That's good night. But anyway. Enchete. That's right. That's you too. But, like, I forgot how to say that. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Nicola handed back the folder to me. Our parting was very simple, as always. Especially because I was not a woman. Our parting was simple because I wasn't a woman. And how dare you, Nicola? Sorry. I watched him walking toward Falce, and I turned around to return to Creta. Okay, just as long as something... Oh, God! I walked quickly through the empty streets. Nothing happened to Oliver. Oh, my God. So this concludes the job for tonight. I think I have enough time to do a final check over the documents, thankfully. You're Oliver Haas? What? Oh, no! I turned around and saw a man standing in the shadows, dressed in black. I felt an alarm ring inside my head. Oh, no. Oh, my God, don't fucking hurt Oliver. I took off running with all my might. Don't kill Oliver! This... I know I didn't say it like I've been saying, don't you kill Leo, but don't hurt Oliver! I mean, has he always made it out, or it's just been like, okay with you just assume and everybody is wiped out that Oliver went with it, but she's like, it's never been specifically mentioned.
I heard gunshots fire behind me. Luckily, none had hit me yet. I just needed to reach a bright street.
I won't let you get away.
I heard footsteps running after me.
I have no idea what that is.
I don't think I can outrun him.
Whatever, it's got to be a swear. German derogatory slang. I have no idea what it is, but there you go.
But if I'm not there at the trial tomorrow, Gilbert's chances of losing is higher. I can't die here.
That's exactly why.
Before I could get to him, the major street. The man finally caught up and yanked my collar from behind.
Bastard, making us work for it. No, hurt Oliver!
He seemed to want to pin me down, so I punched and kicked and yelled loudly.
Let me go! Somebody call the police! I can't scream that too loud. People are going to think I'm calling the police. Cuzzo, shut up!
He gave a relentless blow and I felt myself lose my breath. I crumbled to the floor and the men descended upon me without mercy.
No, Oliver! Just then. Hey, what are you doing there? Help! Where are the police? Cops! Shh.
And the men clicked their tongues, annoyed, and swiftly ran off into the night.
Get him, Roberto! Oh, it's Roberto and Marco!
Of course.
Oh, thank God. Hey, you okay? Wait! Oliver, is that you?
Yeah. You saved me, Marco. Being a lawyer, I often visited the police station. Luckily for me, Marco appeared. He was a detective I was familiar with.
That's a pretty bad injury. Hey, you've been shot!
Oh, was I? I was so focused on running, I didn't notice.
Fucking Oliver, I love you so much. Oh, yeah, I was running away and trying not to die. I didn't realize I got shot. Hey, you're bleeding. You need to get to the hospital.
No. I feel pain, but both my hands and feet can move. For now, I need to get back to the manor. It was then I thought of one possibility. I didn't know what the men who attacked me were after, but if it had something to do with the trial... I showed the documents to Nicola as well. He may also be under attack.
Crap, Marco! Nicola!
And the night in Felce was silent with no trace of any kind of commotion. It doesn't seem that anything's happened. I was the only one who got attacked. I felt relieved finding out that I hadn't gotten him involved. Marco? What's the matter?
Oh my God, Marco, don't you kill Oliver. Look down, Oliver. The color doesn't stand out in the dark. This is...
A dark shadow spread out under my feet. Looking closely, it appeared to be red.
Oh
no! Nearby was a gun. This Beretta... I can say Beretta, I know what that is.
A pistol used by Nicola, made by an Italian company. Seems like we didn't make it in time. I'm assuming this... Marco!
We turned around and Roberto was running toward us out of breath. I've been looking for you. Jeez, you disappeared without saying anything.
Sorry, Roberto. We were in a rush. What happened to the men?
And there was a car parked in the back. They got away.
I see. Sorry, Roberto, but take Oliver back to the Visconti's place. But first, drop by the station and take a few guys with you. Ones who are good at fighting.
Understood. What are you gonna do, Marco?
I need to tell the news to Dante. Oh no! Okay, but we didn't see him die. Do we know he's dead? Because, okay, chapter 7. Hear me out. We didn't see him die. Did we? Like, we saw the blood and, I mean, his gun's still there. I feel like Nicola would have to be dead to be like, it's my gun, it's my specialty gun. Everybody knows it. That's Nicola's gun. We know it. It's not just like, he has a black gun and that's a black, like, I feel like if you can pinpoint that that's his, you know what I mean? That it is, like, special. Like, oh. Nicola. God damn it, Dita Torte. What the fuck are you doing? Don't hurt my boys. Man. But I didn't see him die, so I don't feel as sad about it as I do in other routes where you're like, Yang, I love you, Yang, but you killed Dante, why? We didn't see Nicola die this time. It just appears that he might have. Oliver, what happened to you? Late that night, Oliver returned to the manor with Roberto supporting him. He looked gravely injured. Aside from Roberto, there were other officers accompanying them.
He was attacked on the street and we just managed to save him. About Nicola Francesca, he was with Oliver just before he was attacked. His gun was found in the Falce district, along with traces of blood. I see. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for saving Oliver. Grazie, Roberto. I simply did my job as the police. There's no need to thank me. Until the trial is over, you should all be careful.
Roberto muttered his warning, turned his back to us, and left the lounge. Oliver, let's go to the hospital this instant. We need someone to treat you.
No. The hospital's less protected than the manor. I can't die until the trial ends.
Oliver! Seeing him endure the pain with such strength made me bite my lip and fall silent.
I'm calling for a doctor. Sorry, but can I leave the first aid to you? He's like, I'm a little weak around blood, man. It gives me a little...
What? Just kidding. Yes, I'll treat him right away.
I appreciate it. If we could start with icing my face. A lawyer showing up at the trial with a swollen face. I'll be the laughingstock at court.
Yes, I'll get some ice. Oliver joked as if to buoy his strength, and I did as he asked. Like, oh, Oliver. About an hour passed since I administered first aid. A doctor arrived and examined Oliver's wounds. The doctor said his life isn't in danger, thank God. It was a blessing amidst tragedy. I was so relieved that I put a hand to my chest. Oliver was insistent on doing a final check for tomorrow, so we had to force him into his room. I came across Gil in the hallway, like shoving him. God damn it, just lay down! Gil, are you going somewhere?
I'm going to see Dante. About Nicola and her next steps. It's not something we can do over the phone.
Please let me go with you! Leo! Okay. I want to be like, yes, let him go with you because then, oh my god, then Leo's gonna get attacked. Because Gil's not gonna die because it's his route, but like, don't take Leo, you're gonna get him killed.
We don't know if your underboss is safe or not. Of course you can't just sit still, huh? Sure, Leo, come with me. Thank you so much, senor. Senor. I didn't say that right, but anyway. It was like hard in Leo's voice.
I want to go too. I looked Gil straight in the eye.
Honestly, I don't want to take you outside in a situation like this. It'll be cold out. Don't forget your coat.
Thank you. I'll go get it right away.
He's like, I don't want to take you in a situation like this, but go get your fucking coat.
I nodded and I rushed over to my room to fetch my coat.
Came back and they're gone.
We were brought to his... I was gonna say, if we have us walking down the street, I'm gonna be fucking scared. We were brought to his office, and Dante was waiting for us with a very serious look.
I received this just a moment ago.
This is Nicola's... Oh... What had been delivered to Dante's desk was a jacket that looked familiar. Here's the thing! You have his jacket, but that doesn't mean you have him! I'm sorry, but I demand his body or his head or something. You can't just give me his jacket and make me think he's dead. I don't believe you. Where's his dead body, bitch? There were spots of blood here and there, and I felt myself becoming nauseous.
There was no request from the culprit, but it's obvious what they wanted to say.
They want us to stay away from the Falzone.
That's right. I'm certain they're demanding that we separate. Oh, that we separate from the Visconti if we want Nicola back.
Okay, so he's not dead. He's just being held hostage. Cool.
I can't tell you what to do in this situation. All I can say is, even if the Falzone withdraws, I won't be mad about it.
Dante sighed, then looked up at Gil with a somewhat distraught expression.
Don't underestimate me, Gilbert.
His eyes turned sharp, and he continued in a low voice.
And that night I told you at the church, we will cooperate with the Visconti in order to protect Berlone.
But, boss!
Don't comment on a decision I've made, Leo. And that's how we operate as the Mafia. You should know this by now. Look, Leo's like, but I love Nicola, he's like my big bro. Angry Ichigata. Mafia Ichigata over here. Hearing Dante's final answer, Leo started to tear up as if he couldn't stand it. Oh, it's okay, we'll hold Leo. Don't yell at the puppy. He's a good boy, he just wants his friend back. There's no guarantee that Nicola's alive. And just because I back off doesn't mean they'll simply give Nicola back. You sure about this, Dante? Stop pressuring me, Gilbert. Stop pressing me, Gilbert. I will never fall for a threat like this. From the day I was called to the Mafia, I've been prepared to kill and be killed. Same goes for Nicola. That's why I'm not going to reverse my decision.
But it took like 10 men to beat him up. I mean, Oliver did not just have one dude chasing him down. He had a handful. Like, there was at least like 4 or 5 of them. I'm just saying, it took a lot to subdue Nicola, so you just got to be proud of him for that.
I accept the Falzone's decision.
Gil spoke clearly and without hesitation turned around and walked toward the door. Leo and I followed suit. As the door was about to close, I turned back around and saw Dante, left alone in his office, gripped the bloodstained jacket tightly in his hands. Oh, God, no! The game's like, oh, in case it wasn't like, Nicola might be dead. And Dante's like, no, fuck this shit. And then he's like, and I saw him start to weep. No! That's what's gonna make me break. Not that you maybe killed Nicola, but that Dante's gonna be sad. Just like it almost made me break when, like, Nicola's like, crying over Dante's grave. The bromance. I know it's like they're cousins, but still, like, they love each other so much, and I don't want them to hurt. I don't want my poor babies to hurt. Anyway, the next day, as scheduled, Gil's trial was about to begin at the Arca courthouse. Gil, Oliver. I sat in the spectator area with my hands folded in prayer as I watched on. The jury and the judge entered the courtroom. On the defendant's side stood Gil and Oliver. The prosecutor sat on the opposite end. The prosecutor sat on the opposite end. Pop to Leo. I mean, I know that's not, but it's just kind of funny. Like, you know damn well it's, I mean, you're like, wait a minute. Game. Anyway, hold on. Judgment. Nicola? Oh, no, Direttore. It's others.
Direttore, the man in questioning still isn't talking. What would you like to do? Direttore?
It's almost time for the guest to arrive. We're going to have to take care of him.
Understood, Direttore.
They're talking about Nicola, aren't they? Wait. The man in questioning. They're talking about Nicola.
Now, I must prepare to welcome our guests.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Leo, who was sitting next to me, whispered to cheer me up. Right. Let's have faith in them. It's starting. Oh, God. This makes me so anxious, though. Like, okay, we have a few minutes.
Gilbert Redford, vow to the ever-knowing God. And then in this court, I'll speak only the truth with no false testimony.
With his hand on the Bible, he was sworn in. His confident stance looked so dependable that it eased the anxiety I felt in my heart. They have to do this whole part, because otherwise if you were like, it just went to, oh my God, the trial was over, there would not be as much tension. Like, do you feel the tension? Are you stressed out? Because we're not probably going to get to the end of this trial by the end of this part. Anyway.
The defendant's charged with counterfeiting American dollars and distributing them. The Visconti imports many items from America.
Hello, but not fucking fake money.
Most of the payments are in dollars. Rather than trade in Italian lira, they've produced counterfeit American dollars. Objection!
We got an Oliver CG? Game. Thank you.
I wish to question the defendant, Gilbert Redford. Do you have any need to create counterfeit bills? No, really don't need dollars.
What's your reasoning?
Fucking rich.
Oh, and now we're back. Oh, it's a Gil and Oliver one. I love it. Oh my God, I love it so much.
Even if our trade partners are American, why would I need dollars to pay them? What? Our transactions aren't limited to the dollar.
I love this CG so much. It's both of them. They're beautiful faces. So excited. The CG's in this game. I love this game. Okay, anyway, we know this. I'm going to fall off my bouncy ball. I'm so excited. Anyway.
Your Honor and the jury, please refer to the documents in front of you. And this is the account book of the Visconti over the past few years. Dollar transactions make up only 10% of overall deals.
In actuality, they didn't often trade in American dollars. But it seemed Oliver recreated the account book to support their case. He anticipated the prosecution's claims and supplied evidence to refute it. Because Oliver's good at his motherfucking job. Also, he balances the books, so he's our accountant/lawyer. Just saying. He's got a lot, and he's our right-hand man. He's got a lot of roles. He's pretty fucking good. Yet, he needs to learn how to use a goddamn gun, because he could have just shot those motherfuckers and it would have been fine. Like, Oliver, you need to learn how to defend yourself. You and me both. We're gonna go to defense classes. We'll learn, like, fucking kung fu or some shit. I don't know. Like,
think about it. In making large purchases for American goods, no less, do you think we'd pay in cash? With known dangers along the way, would we board a plane to America with large sums of money to buy goods for trade? Senor Redford, is that how you make your purchases?
No, it's too dangerous and inconvenient to walk around like that. It's also heavy.
Gil shrugged and spoke with confidence. I heard people snickering around me. Just as Oliver hoped. I remembered what Oliver shared with me last night as I was treating him. Cool, flashback. And the Kingdom of Italy uses the jury system, ordinary citizens with no legal knowledge. We have to talk in a way that anyone can understand and behave with the goal of getting the general public on our side. If they're on our side, naturally we'll have an advantage. In that regard, Gilbert's very charismatic. Unless something unprecedented happens, things should go well.
Although you said unless something unprecedented happens, and I feel like unprecedented is about to fucking roll in and slap us in the face. I felt to a certain extent that Oliver was saying this as if to convince himself. Oliver must be nervous. I mean, someone did just try to kill him, so I can understand that.
It'll be okay, Oliver. If it's you and Gil together, I'm sure it'll go well.
Or those people have been bribed, all I'm saying. Between the two of you and your pretty faces. You can't put these two pretty faces up there and me be like, innocent. Totally innocent. I marry either one of you. Just kidding. Whenever we make a purchase, we always go through the bank. Should all be on record. Objection! You still can't say they've made no cash purchases! Well, they do pay in cash for things like food, of course. It's gelato, but gelaterias? Is that how you say that? That sounds like a hardest word to say, like gelato. And then there's gelaterias? Like cafeteria. Gelateria. Gelaterias in Creta don't take checks. It's too bad we don't have like a little plastic thing that you can like swipe and like take like a credit account and like loan money. However, for large purchases, I get nervous if I can't go through the bank. With cash, I'd forget how much I bought.
I will say that the Visconti's financial records are perfect, and they are meticulously managed by yours truly. I'd like you to take a look at the Visconti's tax documents I provided.
I like the fact that they're like, wow, even the Mafia pays their taxes. Just saying. It shows that the Visconti has no secret funds. Right. You can look us up however you want. You'll find that we're completely clean. However, even if they were to do deals through the bank, within Berlone they could be negotiating directly and accepting cash payments.
I see. It appears the prosecutor doesn't understand how the Mafia does business.
Oh! Bitch, we're going straight to casino. Hold on. We almost at the end of this part. Dante.
Some time had passed since the trial began. I was in the casino.
My, welcome, Senor Falzone. It's been a while since you visited our establishment. I'm happy to see you after such a long absence.
Never mind the formalities. Hurry and take me to the room.
Oh, you don't seem to be doing too well. Is something the matter?
Yeah, you have fucking Nicola held captive! I love you so much! I want to be like, I hate you, son of a bitch, but it's like, I love him so much, and I just, oh my god, this is the best.
Would you like me to bring you something warm to drink?
Like the blood of my enemies.
I'm just kidding. Dante ignored the direttore and walked to the back room. The men were already waiting there.
You've made me work this time, Paris. Oh, come on. The Falzone has been taking care of my family since your father's generation. This is nothing. I appreciate it, and will repay this debt. Dante already knows... Yeah, it was definitely... They're talking about keeping Nicola, because then these are the guests. Okay. And he's eavesdropping. So I have a feeling that Dante is setting Direttore up, because he knows not to go in the casino after that meeting we had. It's not like, wait, whoa, we didn't tell Dante about that. He knows, he was right there. He's not stupid. Oliver nodded calmly and pushed his glasses back on with a finger. Sexy movements. Of course, there are times the Visconti imports goods and pays for their purchase. However, the majority of the Visconti's business in this town is acting as the intermediary for safe, prompt transactions. Isn't that right, Redford? That's right. If the trade's a success, our clients are happy, and sometimes pay us in cash as a form of appreciation. The prosecutor gasped and gulped. In most deals, the Visconti is on the side of being paid, not on the side of paying. So do you think when we receive their money, we then return their money in counterfeits? Redford, do you have any recollection of the Visconti doing such a thing? Not at all. Besides, I don't have any counterfeits to give them. The people we deal with aren't dumb either. They'd be too suspicious to accept them. But as a mediator, you do handle their cash, don't you? Wouldn't you be able to mix in some counterfeit money in with it? I see. You may have a point there. Oliver nodded in agreement. The prosecutor sighed with relief. Oh, Oliver's gonna bitch slap him with some facts right now. Radford, what do you think? The more important the deal is, the more likely they'll use cash. Counterfeit bills getting mixed in would be a problem. However, I can't say I've ever opened a briefcase. I can't say I've ever opened a briefcase of money to swap them with counterfeit bills. There'd be no point. That's just sophistry. It's true that counterfeit money's being circulated. If you're going to say that much, would you be able to show us? If that's the case, by all means, let's have a demonstration here to prove your point. Yeah, really help me with swapping counterfeits in the future. Not only were the spectators laughing, but now the jurors were starting to chuckle. However, a third party on your side would be able to deal with the counterfeit bills. I'm certain that the Visconti's trade partners are capable of doing that at least. We've done our investigations and have found a few suspicious trades. Senior Redford, do you have experience with what the prosecutor is claiming? Not at all. Sure, it's easy for you to say that. Then why don't you show us proof? Why don't you show me proof? Of all people, you as the prosecutor would know it's difficult to find evidence of something you didn't do. After all, he didn't do it. All we can offer is his testimony. He was sworn in with the Bible just earlier. He vowed not to make any false statements. No, I hardly believe that the Mafia believes in God. Anyone can break a vow like that. You can lie all you want. And then let's call a witness. I've called someone who can testify that is in fact a man of faith and moral character. Your Honor, may we welcome the witness into the courtroom? I'll allow it. I clasp my hands tightly in prayer. Factory! Oh my god! Okay, we have to stop here. We can't. Oh, then yay. Oh my god, everybody, all the fucking pawns are in motion. This is the best, but we have to stop. I do not, we're over time and we can't keep going because I feel like we're gonna go here and then we're gonna go back to the trial and then we're gonna keep going back and forth and I just, so I'm gonna stop here and we'll start in this one, we're almost there. I have a feeling the trial will be the last of chapter 7 and then chapter 8 is our ending, so. But anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.